Hi class, this is Course 2, Lesson 85, Order of Operations with Positive and Negative Numbers. So we are still going to use PEMDAS, the order of operations. So you have to remember to use parentheses first, then exponents and multiplication and division from left to right, then addition and subtraction from left to right. But you're going to get expressions that look like this. And it can be kind of confusing where to start. So one of the things that you can do is find separate the terms. Okay, so you have a minus 3 times a 2 minus 4, and then we have a minus 4 times minus 2 times minus 3, and then we have plus this negative 3 times negative 4 divided by 2. So where we have a break, those are our terms. So we should end up with 1, 2, 3 terms. So we can simplify these and then we can combine them all at the end. And we can separate, remember from lesson 84, the algebraic terms are separated when we do not have the plus or minus sign inside grouping symbols or inclusion symbols. So like this is attached to that right now, but that's not, this negative 3 isn't inside parentheses. Same with this negative 4. So we know that there's a break there, and we have this nice plus sign out here in front of this fraction. So we're going to simplify each of these. So remember to start inside the parentheses. 2 minus 4 is really 2 plus a negative 4, which would be negative 2. And then that is still times a negative 3. So negative 3 times negative 2. Two negatives, when you multiply, will end up as a positive. So this term is positive 6. Now I don't need the plus sign, it's the first term, but I put that down there just so that we're clear. The second term is negative 4 times negative 2 times negative 3. So if I work left to right, I have negative 4 times negative 2, which is positive 8, but then it is still times negative 3. So this term, 1 positive, 1 negative, will end up being negative 24. This term, the fraction, we would simplify. Negative 3 times negative 4 would be positive 12 divided by 2, which would end up being 6. And I have a plus sign in front of it, so I'm going to put plus 6. So I have positive 6 minus 24 plus 6. And I work this left to right. Positive 6 minus 24. So I can add positive 6 plus a negative 24. So I'm going to end up with 24 minus 6. 18, and it needs to be negative. Negative 18 plus 6, so again opposite sign, so I would subtract them, and my sign would be negative, so the answer to this long expression is negative 12. One more example. This one has inclusion symbols. Feel free to try it and come back and see if you had the right process. This is the last example, and you'll be on your way. So again, this term, because it's in inclusion symbols, these brackets, so I really only have 2 terms. I have negative 2 and then the result of whatever this is. So if I start inside the brackets, then I have this negative 3 and I have this minus whatever negative 4 times negative 5 is. So I'm going to write down minus the bracket, the negative 3 term, the minus sign, and then whatever this is, negative 4 times negative 5 would be positive 20. Okay, now inside the parentheses I have negative 3 minus 20, and remember that you always add the opposite. So we're going to have this minus sign out here, and I'm going to put the bracket just so that we're clear what we have here. We have minus 3 plus negative 20 is negative 23. So now my problem is negative 2 minus negative 23. Now remember, we never subtract, so this problem is really negative 2 plus the opposite, a positive 23. Negative 2 plus 23 is going to end up being 21. Okay, so you have to pay really close attention to all your negative symbols, and make sure that you're remembering that when you multiply, whether you have a positive or negative number, when you subtract, that you're really adding the opposite, and then the rules for adding integers in general. That's it. Lesson 85, order of operations with positive and negative numbers. I will see you in class.